what difference can you see between Canada and Chile? And based on that difference of the teams that you faced and will face, if you're going to change anything in the forwards or if you're going to stick to the game plan that went well for the first match. Well, good afternoon, everyone. There are always differences in the teams. They don't always play in the same manner. Canada had his own particularities, and Chile has its own. Our team is always trying to set the tone and create some damage to the rival. And we will adapt to win the match, but these are very different opponents, and we are being cautious. Gustavo Charrot for La Red. Gareca talked about the pitch. He mentioned it isn't in good condition. Could you see it, and what is your opinion on it? Well, I haven't seen it yet. I already said what I had to say, and that is in the past now, and we have to adapt. I don't want to insist on that. That aspect is the same for everyone, but yes, I have not seen it yet. Lionel here, Claudio Giglioni for Cadena 3 Argentina. At what level is this team when it comes to intensity, since we always grow in these tournaments? But as to the game plan, as to disrupting and creating imbalances for the rival, and Molina, in your case, if you have someone that projects with speed and dominating the ball, and is it complicated if there is no good ball carrying on the pitch? Well, don't worry, Nahuel will not be talking about the condition of the pitch so that we can avoid that. Too much has been said already. The team is doing well, and we play to the game plan of our adversary, and Canada pressured well. It was a difficult match to us. We adapted, we corrected. I could not say at what level we are right now, but we will always try to improve based on the situation at the game. We do a match by match assessment, and sometimes we can play better, worse, but of course the team is responding to the expectations for each game. Lionel, Manuel Olivari for Telefe. Your cycle is featured by the leaders that the group had and the leaders that were created from the moment you started. Cuti Romero, besides his performance as a football player, do you see him as a leader in the projection of this roster? Well, he's still a young player, and there's room for improvement, and of course he has a great path ahead, and he has many matches to play in this national team. He has to take it as such, and he's a great player, one of the best center backs in the world right now. We're happy. We think he will continue to earn his position in this roster, and he already is a role model given his performance, and the experience will be given to him by the number of matches and the time. Now, Sandra for sports. In the football player coach relation, we see what you provide to your players, not so much the other way around. And on this birthday of the captain, what did Messi teach you? What is what he gives to you? And what do you think about playing Rodrigo the Paul ahead of you, Nahuel? And what did you feel teaming up with Angelito Di Maria the other day? Well, I feel very comfortable with both of them. Fideo, Angel Di Maria, is always attacking more. He is playing more as a forward, and I'm really comfortable. That's it. Yep, just very brief. Well, as to Leo, Cociner, the cook and Antonia, they all have their birthdays on the same day. So we're always thinking about them. And we all know how tough it is to have your birthday away from home. And we always try to make him feel comfortable, to make him happy. He has a great group, and his teammates make him feel very special. And of course, for this day, he would like to be with his family, but at least he can be with his teammates and with feeling the support of a country that is very happy to have him. And today we'll blow the candles, and I imagine that there will be a cake in order for the three of them. Lionel, Nahuel, Eugenia Salinas for Radio Bio Bio de Chile. Well, it was 8 years ago. They have different protagonists and different players on the field, but this was a very important historical moment for both. Chile was a champion for the Bicentenario Cup, and for others, it was a sad moment. Leo even mentioned that he was going to resign. But do you still talk about that moment in time? Do you think this is a second chance or the revenge? Well, there's nothing going on about that. It's in the past, as I mentioned. The ball doesn't stop; it goes on and on and on. But the only similar factor is the stadium. The rest is in the past, and it doesn't make sense to revisit history. Lionel, Ariel here. This is a very explosive. I cannot see you. Where are you? I'm sorry, I cannot see you. Oh, yes, we are a lot here, and I have the two lights right ahead. Okay, it is a team, an explosive team with great level of personality. These are tough matches. You have players that know how to play at that limit. You only had one red card shown to a player in your cycle. Do you tell them something in particular in that sense, knowing that tomorrow there is a certain level of rivalry between these two teams and the potential friction? Well, this is a football match, and maybe we are raising unnecessary red flags here. This is a match similar to other matches of the similar nature. We play as in every other match. We know that there are boundaries we cannot exceed. We have to be responsible, and we cannot be in the pitch outnumbered. We cannot be a man down. And as in Holland, we cannot do something different other than respond to how the match is presented to us. But we do know that there are limits that cannot be exceeded, and we know what it means to play with 10 men. So we have to do what it takes and what it's proper. Lionel, Diego will not be able to play in Chile. There could be change in the game plan or the scheme by Gareca. Will that change, having the absence of Diego Valdez? Will that change the center back duo? I don't know who will play. I don't know if he's going to change his strategy. We will be waiting to see. And we will play with the players with whom we think we can make the best match. Our formation as to the players won't change given their scheme, their strategy. We will put the best on the field, and then we will adapt as the match evolves. Televisa Univision, Ricardo Areca in the Chilean press conference measure there were some issues in the logistics to get to New Jersey and also the injuries, how those details impact the game plan. With an injury or with two yellow cards, you have a mandatory suspension. How do those details affect in your experience with the prior Copa America and the World Cup? How do you surpass those obstacles? Well, I don't think it is very relevant in this case. We need to show a good performance and win. And well, I think my experience is not relevant in that sense. But the logistics, yes, and the injuries, of course. If you have players that are injured and you have to make decisions that, for instance, if Ricardo has 11 starters and there is a player that is injured, or if they have an issue with the trip, well, of course, when you're going to make decisions, it has an impact. But then when you get to the match, you're already there. But I don't know if it affects during the evolution of the game. Theo Monroy for ESPN. In Chicago, in one of your press conferences, you talked about the evenness and the competition for the positions like Lautaro Julián, Tagliafico Acuña, Enzo Lo Celso, Paredes Alexis. So to us, there were no doubt that Copa America would have Otamendi and Guti Romero, and now we see that we have Lisandro Martinez. Is he now one of the options that could change given the opponent, or do you think that there is a new backline from now onwards? Um, I don't know what will happen from now onwards. We decide on the formation game by game, and as we say, we make up the lineup with the ones we think will give the best performance. And sometimes there's a need for a substitution. Otamendi is a great player. He gives us so much. And of course, he's always an option. So we'll see what happens. Federico Rodas for the Sports, Nahuel and Lionel. In 2021, in Brazil, in Copa America, Lionel Messi received a weird gift for his birthday. What are you thinking about a gift for this year? And did the coaching staff give him a gift this time around? Well, in the last Copa America, that took place when we were in Ezeiza in the training facility. So we were able to get the stuff we wanted to get. And right now, we just are wishing him the best, and with Diego and the cook, and well, you know that phrase that says, "What can I give him if he has everything?" It's a great excuse, by the way. We have not decided anything yet. Of course, there will be some gifts, and we hope that the president of our federation made an effort and has something ready. Now, of course, yes. I think that something will happen. There will be some sort of celebration. Roman Iglesias, Canal 26. Your teams always adapt to themselves. They don't vary as to the opponent. Will there be any changes in the game plan vis-a-vis the one against Canada? Well, we have a very particular strategy and game plan, and the opponent poses difficulties, and what we do is try to adjust, try to avoid damage to our team, and we will try to find the spaces given the opponent, but the opponent will set the tone of its attack. And of course, we will be cautious about that, and it's valid to do so. Ruben Rodriguez, Fox Sports. A good gift could be a good pitch surface, but my question is on that sense. Don't you think that when I will not answer your question, I'm really respectful. I want to answer. Do you think the organizing committee needs to take better care of the players? This Copa was organized 1 year ago. No? You won't say anything. Okay. Okay. Yes, but we agree that they are of utmost relevance. The pitch, the surface pitch, and to have a decent pitch for the captain. Okay, sorry. Lionel Sergio Levinsky, Jornada de Mendoza. Maybe this doesn't sound really well, but from the Euro Cup, they say that Copa America is a lesser tournament compared to it, to the Euro Cup. Have you watched any matches? What is your opinion on that? Well, those are opinions, and when you don't have the best players, you cannot compare if one is the best, or one is better than the other. If we count the titles of the world champions for the South American countries and the European countries, Brazil has five. It's a five-time winner, right? Well, Colombia is a powerhouse. Uh, Paraguay is always a great opponent in the World Cups, but I know it's an opinion. I know if Mbappe said that, or I know who, or Misa, if who said that. Modric said the opposite, and they are both European. So these are opinions, and uh, opinions are non-binding. So I have my own opinion, but I don't think mine prevails. Beyond every word, these national teams, when they go to a World Cup, they engage, they win. Chile, I also forgot Chile. They have great performance globally. So I wouldn't say that these teams are not the best. Nicolás May for Cadena 3, Santa Fe, Central Deportiva. Now, what type of game do you envision for tomorrow? With Chile, you will meet again in 2 months for the qualifiers for the World Cup in our country. And Lionel, are you set on the formation? Would you have any change on the scheme? And after Canada, do you think they surprised you somehow? Well, I think it will be a very difficult match, and we will try to set the tone with our play. And of course, there are things to improve on after the match against Canada, but it will depend on what the coaching staff proposes, and we'll try to attack to have a good ball possession. That is what we've been trying to do. Well, yes, I have decided the lineup. They don't know yet, as I mentioned the other day. I disclosed that later. I will disclose that later today. Well, and about the scheme, sometimes I say 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-3-2-1, but it doesn't change for me. The backline is four, and then in the midfield we change a little bit, but it will be similar to the one we used in the previous match, and we'll see if we touch it up. But Canada, uh, we weren't surprised or not, but we knew that they had tied against Canada with a scoreless match. They gave it a tough time. They knew they were leading, and in the second half, I think that the 21st minutes we gave a good match, and we managed to move forward, and it was a positive outcome. Jonathan Fayón for Muñoz de Fondo, Canal 26. Two questions. So, okay, continuity, the lineup. We know you're not going to pronounce yourself on that, but will there be more than one change? And we know that Nico or Marcos could play, or maybe Lisandro, or the nine. And for a while, we had no doubts as to the number four. No, yes, but he cannot rest in on his laurels. Yeah, he's right here. So okay, so no one is relaxing about it, but what can you say about his performance, that he's almost irreplaceable? Well, for you, yeah, to us as journalists, but maybe his virtues made him starting his position so many times. And what worries you, Nahuel, about Chile? Well, those were a lot of questions in one. So we'll see if we have one, two, three substitutions, or sorry, replacements um, in the lineup, but we'll decide after the training session. And now, well, I don't know how many matches he played, but we also had Gonzalo. We think that there is a nice competition going on between them. They get along very well. They both contribute. And today we have Nahuel in the lineup, and he has to seize that. But Gonzalo exerts a good pressure in the back, and we think that there is a very nice competition going on between them. And I think that Chile has great forwards and a great attack, and we have to stand well on the field. We cannot lose easy balls that then complicate our own game. Good afternoon, Lionel, Nahuel. Ya entendé for Ataque Futbolero. First, Lionel, you have a ball right next to you. Many times we say we have to stop the ball, like just wait a minute and uh, look back. What do you value the most about the titles you achieved? I want to ask about your gift to Messi, Nahuel, but do you want your gift to be something similar to the goal against the Netherlands? Well, hopefully, yes. He always has an ace up his sleeve, and that could be the case. So, what what is my takeaway? Um, I'm not thinking out the titles. It is important to win, of course, but we achieved it in a way that transmitted everything, not only to the Argentinians fans, because they felt identified with us and that we represent them well, and we're very proud of it. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the achievements. That is obvious. But there was a time in 2019 that was very important in our process, and that justifies what we feel and what we say today. Of course, there are some setbacks, but I think the level of trust deposited on us came to fruition. Relatoria with Victor Hugo. Same question for both. 8 years ago, in this stadium, when Argentina lost against Chile, Leo Messi said that that was it and that he was resigning. What did you think at that time? Lionel, Nahuel, what do you remember from that time? Did you see it in Embalse maybe? Do you think that the grandeur beyond winning lies on persevering? Well, I think that it's very important to have him here. Everyone's asking about the future, the past, but this is a lovely present, and I don't remember that time. Present, right? The present is very important. What's in the past is in the past, and he is well, he is enjoying his birthday. We want him to have a good time. I agree. I don't remember when that was. 2016. Well, yes, I was in Boca Juniors in the youth categories. So yes, as Leo mentioned, we have to enjoy having him today. It is his birthday today, and tomorrow we have a match ahead of us. Germán Parrara, hola VIP. On Leo Messi, how did he finish after the match in Canada, and in particular after the hard tackle by Bombito? He's doing fine. He has trained well and he is in condition for playing. Lionel, Raúl Monti for Cadena 3, Argentina. Lionel, how the difference in your approach to the comments on the field, is that your decision, or that now you're being reluctant to speak about it? What can we do about it? Do you have a solution? Well, there is a difference in the position. It is what it is. Nothing can be done. Lionel, Eduardo Vijar from ESPN, you were talking about the setbacks or how difficult it was to build a team in 2019 and how relevant Copa America was at that time. And someone very important was Cesar Luis Menotti at that time. You've had many teachers on your way at these times of tournaments with this level of pressure, when you have to make a decision. What mentors come to mind? Well, when you are preparing for the match, you go to different sources, to people that taught you well, and you think about their sayings and what they taught you, and you try to see if that works for that match. Always in relation to football, my dad, the first one, he was my first trainer, and Jose, Cesar, he contributed so much. And there are many people that have uh, helped us, and we bring them with us. And well, we do that kind of thing when we analyze the game plan for each match, and sometimes it's tough to execute because not every opponent is the same. We like analyzing each team, but we do try. We do try to bring their best to our analysis. Nahuel, Lionel, Claudio Bustillos from Chilevisión and Paramount. Well, it is a fact. The collabs are done, rosters presented, Medel is not here. And does that impact, or the absence of Medel and Vidal, does that have a positive impact on Argentina's game? Well, these are two excellent players that have given your country so much. And in particular, when Vidal was playing, I felt identified with his play, and he was always fighting for every ball. And we all know what Medel meant for defense. And I imagine that for the Chilean people, not seeing them in the pitch is difficult, but these are processes. Everyone gets older. I don't know why they are not in the roster, but Ricardo is doing a great job, and he put his bet somewhere else, and they are still world-class players. And well, it is a relief not seeing them on the pitch because they are high level players, and I imagine that Chilean fans could pay homage to them maybe in the future because they have contributed a lot to your country. Leonel Sara Castro, Diario Vas, right here. Where are you? Where is she now? Well, okay, I'm sorry. In the post-match conference after the match against Canada, you said you were going to take time to analyze how Canada reached your goal. And have you analyzed that Yes, we analyzed it, and it will take me more than a couple of minutes to tell you why they got to where they got, and they're a good team, and we know that if there's a clear mindset and game plan for what we should improve from our team after the match against Canada. Okay, yes, I think they are a good team and that they can generate chances as they did. And we tried to adapt and correct uh, our game plan to prevent that. But I mentioned 1 minute wouldn't be enough. Lionel, salucadazo for Via Libre Reconquista. I have one question for you and then one for Nahuel. Lionel, Alejandro Garnacho, what is your take on him? What is his relevance for this roster now and in the future? And Nahuel, he, my colleague mentioned that goal against the Netherlands or Holland. And what is the best? What is the relation between Nahuel Molina and the birthday boy Lionel Messi? Okay, well, to me, it's important to team up with him to give him options that him opportunities or alternatives he might take or not in the field so that he can solve situations, do a 2v1, and that would be it. And on Alejandro, uh, he is training at a great level. He has the same possibilities of being in the lineup as everyone else, but we have many options, and there is an option of substitution. But he's enjoying being here. And there was one. First, I have to ask in English, and then I'll do it in Spanish. Knowing that you started the tournament with a victory, something that did not happen 3 tournaments ago. You will be facing Chile as world champions and Copa champions. Do you think it's different knowing the history you have against Chile? I, uh, what are you referring to with the history against Chile? Taking into account all the history playing against Chile, taking into account 2016, 2015, talking about the present on the way that Chile gets here, your moment, their moment. Well, I already mentioned this a little bit in my previous answers. The cups that Chile won or that we won, like the last ones we won, well, that is in the past, and we are living in the present, and this team knows that very well. Each match is a different history, and we have to face it as it comes. And former titles don't change that, or previous titles, sorry, don't change that. Thank you very much.